we leave impalas, and that is a recording that was made by witness C when he was questioning Mr. Madlanga. You've already listened to these recordings, haven't you?
I listened to it at that time, but yes, okay.
Okay. Can I play it again? Chair, we have a transcript, but I suggest we look at the transcript and we hear the recording, because the transcript in some places leaves an ellipsis, which you can actually hear on the recording. So I think if you have both, it would help. So the transcript of this recording is in file 6. At page 632.
No, I tend to forget. I listen.
It's audio recording E. Page 632.
I'm listening.
Do you have it, page 632?
632?
Yes.
Yes.
General Male Speaker 2 is witness C, and then Mr. Madlanga is named. And this is the transcript, but we will play the recording as well. The transcript is 2 pages long. Can we play the recording?
It happened, it was very dangerous. So you can feel the imbalance. Actually, it's all of them, I don't know. But for them, I told you this, how do you like it? So they're going to be they die all of them, taking. So, but they die all of them. If so, then don't know when the no, I'm feeling in different. So
you don't remember
it's a game of I say private, it's not really it's in the wild, it's a 10,000 hectare farm. So they are roaming free. Yeah. It's not like you can name or track or over the field and it's in the wild.
Okay.
So I think
General, I don't know if you were able to, if you've heard it before, then it would be easier to follow. If you haven't heard it before, then the transcript is better for you to rely on. But the essence of it is what Mr. Madlanga is saying, is that he gave you impalas, and then he said they died, all of them, and he said there were about 20 of them, and he says, yeah, at the plot, they died, all of them. So Mr. Madlanga here says that he gave you impalas and that he gave you many impalas.
I'm very worried about the evidence leader, because she selectively chooses portions that she thinks could only address what she wants to achieve, but also deliberately choosing to ignore the fact that Mr. Madlanga raised an issue and said, I have a problem with this recording. This is not my voice. It was AI generated. That's the first point. The second point is that when you go down, there are a lot of things that I'm going to tell you that witness C said, this is where we went, we took money to. There's no that place. This is what we did here, and I have proof of this and that. All I'm just saying is that I want to, if we were to play this thing, I'm not worried about this recording at all, because it's such a lie. In all the things witness C mentioned, I do have plots, bonded, bought more than 4 years ago, all of them. And the plot that I bought is because I was at the city of Joburg. I was working there. I could afford one that was on auction or one that was very cheap. So all I'm saying is that this thing, firstly, even the head of IDEC testified and said the phone was tampered with. Secondly, when you look at the interview, whether the man was under pressure, was being assaulted, or like they used certain relevant portions. So to me, I rejected this video with the contempt it deserves up until I get proven wrong or an expert is called that this voice was not manipulated. It is the man himself. But I don't want this thing to be used against me when I'm going to prove to you in the following lot of them that, in fact, this is not true.
So let me just say to you, General, first of all, this was introduced into evidence by the investigators who were present at the time that the recording was took place. This has nothing to do with IDAC. IDAC's never raised any objection in relation to these recordings. I can tell you that now. It was introduced into evidence. It was, and it was the testimony of the witnesses who were present. They gave evidence here in this commission. Mr. Madlanga may deny that that is a recording for whatever reason he wishes to say this is AI generated. But what I'm putting to you here is what the evidence has been that has been placed before this commission. You may respond to it.
I want to respond to it. He never made mention that he ever met Madlanga at anywhere, in any way. When General Senona testified here, he says, I took him, I went with him there. Then General Mkhwanazi sent a message to Senona and say, you see now your client said is now exposing our meeting and he never said this and this and that. What I'm just trying to say, that omission, at that point in time, maybe it was not necessary for him to say it, but I was just giving a similar type of approach and say, look, it does happen that it's not like my omission was deliberate. Sometimes it just never at that point in time.
No, General. The difference is you say in your statement at paragraph 38, you say, over time the remaining antelope also died, save for one blessed buck which is still on the plot. That's what you say in your statement. So at that point, you did have the opportunity. Because remember the preceding paragraphs, you're talking about escalating costs, you no longer have money, and so you cease dealing in antelopes and emus and blessed buck. That's the background to it. And then you say at 34, over time, the remainder died, save for one blessed buck. And then at a certain stage, it began to display unusual behavior, and then that's when now you introduce Sergeant Nkosi, you account for the exchanges with Sergeant Nkosi. What is being put to you is that, but the way you describe what happens to your animals over time, it's curious at best that you don't mention that when you were left with, as they were dying, you got your friend or your driver to get other animals, which you still had by the time you were communicating with Ms. Nkosi, with Sergeant Nkosi about getting your animals. You don't mention that. In fact, you create the impression, and I think that is the correct impression, that they had all died. And you were left with only one, and in March 2024, you were being offered, we'll call them antelopes because that's the language you are using. You were being offered impalas at that time.
Chair, I may have to revert to my notes as I drafted, as I was writing and sending to my counsel, and then she was drafting. So I just wanted to ascertain whether, didn't I really also indicate that I acquired some in between? Because, like I said, Chair, it was completed late last night to an extent that the other concern was you've got to sleep early because you've got a long day tomorrow, and the counsel also, when I called, she was already sleeping because she's been working hard on this document, and we met in the morning. Some of the greater or finer details could have been really fixed, and I know it's not the problem of the evidence leader nor the commission, but I take the blame, evidence leader.
General, thanks. I just want to say that what I was putting to you was not just the issue of the impalas and the missing information. It was also about not dealing with the Mr. Matlala, because why this is a controversy in the first place. So it's not the finer details that are missing. What you put on record more than once, including in your statement of 16 January, was that you categorically, and you're not tentative about your evidence, you say you categorically deny that you received anything from Mr. Matlala. So you say that in relation to the impalas, you say that no, it did not involve Mr. Matlala. Then we take you to the messages, and the messages show that in fact the arrangement was through Mr. Matlala, because it says from CAT. So then you say, well, yes, you realized that, and so your way of dealing with it was to say you're not going to accept delivery from a service provider. But then when you're taken to the evidence which shows that there was delivery and that there are impala
But nowhere in your statement.
coincidentally, after the date of delivery, as we see from the chats, then you say that the Zimbabwean gardener went and procured it for you. So that's what what I am putting to you about the inconsistencies, and that the omissions that you are now filling in as we go along are not just the finer details. They actually goes to the heart of this issue of the impala controversy. Very important facts that were omitted.
You went too long. Can you give me half of what you said so that I respond and go to the next one?
No, it's the whole picture.
No.
I can't give you half, because and that's why I laid it out from the beginning to say this is what you said and then you changed. This is what you said and then you changed. So each time when you say, well, no, you didn't put it in your statement, it's an omission, it's a finer detail you could have. I'm saying to you those omissions, whether it's about the fact that you knew that Mr. Matlala was involved in this, or whether it was about the delivery of the impalas, that they were on your property, that they died on the 27th of March, all of those things are important facts that you don't deal with except when you questioned on
One thing that I've categorically made clear is that I never asked Mr. Nkosi to approach Mr. Matlala. I didn't know who and how was Mr. Nkosi going to assist me in getting such. Secondly, I am categorically denying that I ever received any such delivery from Mr. Matlala's side or from Nkosi's side, because I didn't need them at that time. Now, I'm saying also that I am not saying what I'm saying because I'm being asked questions. I don't want to get or be pushed into a corner of saying, yeah, you knew it comes from Matlala. I had nothing that I've assisted Matlala with, nothing that I worked with him on, and he had no reason to give me anything because I have never assisted him. I don't think you would invest in a dead horse, because having to do with the tenders is supply chain, and I'm far from the supply chain, so I wouldn't be of any value to him. With regard to whatever that was happening in his investigations, it was being handled in the province. So I'm just saying, to me, I had no real-time dealings with Matlala that could lead me to interact in such a way that he can give me something. That's what I wanted to say.
General, Mr. Matlala would not have asked for a meeting with you, and he would not have made an effort to meet with you in January 2024 if you had nothing useful to provide to him. The reason you said so yourself, he came to you, is because he sought your assistance or intervention. That's the real reason for the meeting in January 2024. Yes. He sought your assistance or intervention. And a month and a half later, there's the issue of impalas. So you are not correct when you say you had nothing to offer him because issues of tenders were supply chain issues. He came to you in relation to issues of tenders because he thought you could assist him. He was not wasting his time when he came to your office in January 2024.
Can I comment, Commissioner? Now, yes, he came to me with the hope as advised by General Tema and Sintumule that go and see General Sibiya, he's the acting national commissioner, maybe he could assist. I saw it coming, that why am I being approached when I'm acting? I signed nothing. And what I did, I never assisted him in any way. All I could say was to say, I heard you, I will take it to the national commissioner.
That's the assistance.
It's not. He didn't get what he wanted. I went to the national commissioner and said, Nascom, I had this visit from this lawyer and Mr. Matlala is complaining about 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the national commissioner says, well, I understand that you say the man has got a lease agreement, but the public works is not going to dictate to us as to how to utilize our building on our premises. That's the feedback I had to give to Mr. Matlala. That was my role.
Thank you. One last thing.